Siberia isn't just thawing. The ancient engineered gates of the subterranean world are swinging wide open, and whatever built them is coming to the surface. System total failure. They told us the Earth was solid beneath the frost, just dirt, rock, and ancient ice packed tightly over millions of years. They lied. They lied to keep us from looking too closely at the scars forming across the bleakest edges of our map. Right now, I am standing on the absolute fringe of civilization, in the frozen waste of the Yamal Peninsula in northern Siberia. In the local indigenous language, Yamal translates to the end of the world. It is a terrifyingly accurate description. Out here, the permafrost isn't just melting, it is literally exploding. Massive, pitch-black circular abysses are violently punching through the white ice without warning, leaving perfectly round, smooth cylindrical shafts that plunge hundreds of feet straight down into the pitch blackness of the underworld. The official government reports immediately blamed methane gas pockets building up due to rising temperatures. It's a convenient, neatly packaged explanation for the public. But my team and I brought specialized acoustic and seismic equipment to the rim of the largest newly formed crater. What we are recording right now shatters the methane theory completely. Gas pockets release pressure in a chaotic, singular blast. What is coming from the bottom of this abyss is a rhythmic, low-frequency acoustic hum. It is a steady mechanical vibration pulsing every 12 seconds, vibrating directly through the ancient bedrock and into the soles of our boots. The Earth isn't venting gas. Something beneath the ice is breathing. I spent months digging through declassified Soviet-era geological archives from the early 1970s. Back then, deep-core drilling teams suddenly halted all operations in this exact sector despite striking massive reserves. The official logs were heavily redacted, but a few frantic, handwritten notes from the field engineers survived. They spoke of hitting a dense, impenetrable subterranean barrier that shattered their diamond-tipped drills. They spoke of capturing terrifying acoustic anomalies on their subterranean microphones. They didn't stop drilling because they ran out of funding. They stopped because they were terrified of what they had awakened. As I looked down into the smooth inner walls of this crater using a high-powered spotlight, the geometry is completely wrong. Nature does not blast perfect, glassy vertical cylinders out of dirt and ice. The walls look melted, fused together by an unfathomable blast of raw localized energy. Even more unsettling are the mineral samples we just scraped from the frozen rim. The dark crystalline structures are highly radioactive, and they emit a faint, sickly green bioluminescent glow when exposed to absolute darkness. This isn't a natural geological formation. It is an entry point. 5 minutes ago, our base camp generator suffered a massive power failure. All our digital diagnostic screens began to glitch violently, the displays overwriting our software with vertical columns of static and unreadable geometric lines. The air around the mouth of the abyss is growing thick, smelling intensely of ozone and heavy metals. The temperature is dropping rapidly, far faster than the natural Arctic sunset. My handheld radiation detector is clicking frantically, the numbers spinning out of control before the LCD screen completely burns out in a flash of static. Look into the dark center of the pit. The shadows are shifting. The rhythmic hum from the deep is accelerating, turning into a high-pitched metallic whine that causes our ears to bleed. A blinding, cold pulse of pale blue plasma energy just erupted from the bottom of the shaft, painting the entire frozen tundra in the colors of an alien sky. Something down there just responded to our presence. The ground beneath our feet is beginning to crack open, and the ice is screaming. If this is the final log I ever broadcast from the Yamal site, do not trust the official media statements. Siberia isn't just thawing. The ancient engineered gates of the subterranean world are swinging wide open, and whatever built them is coming to the surface. System total failure.
The primary satellite uplink wasn't destroyed by a simple power failure. It didn't freeze, and it didn't succumb to the brutal Arctic winds. It was systematically executed. At exactly 3:14 a.m., the frozen silence of the Yamal Peninsula was completely vaporized, not by a natural expansion of underground methane gas, but by a highly coordinated, weaponized electromagnetic pulse that turned the very atmosphere against our machinery. If you are hearing this decrypted audio broadcast, it means our automated, high-altitude cloud relay satellite backup network successfully intercepted the compressed data burst in the final milliseconds before the physical ground beneath our primary base camp dissolved into the mouth of the underworld. We are running. We are driving blindly through an absolute crushing darkness that feels heavy, ancient, and terrifyingly alive. The heavy steel extraction platform we constructed with so much effort over the crater's western rim didn't just collapse into the pit, it was forcefully pulled down. Less than 40 seconds after that initial, pale blue plasma flash erupted from the depths. The entire half-ton industrial iron structure began to groan. Its massive, reinforced structural bolts started popping out like pressurized bullets, tearing through the air before the entire platform slid into the vertical cylinder with a sickening, silent speed. There was no echoing crash from the bottom. There was no sound of metal twisting against rock at the base of the shaft. There was only a deep, structural tectonic grinding that vibrated directly through the heavy chassis of our mobile command truck. It was a sound that didn't belong to nature. It sounded like city-sized obsidian gears turning against each other deep within the Earth's crust, slowly adjusting a global, subterranean mechanism that had been locked
For
in
decades,
frozen
local
stasis
nomads
since the
reported
dawn of
hearing
the last
terrifying
major ice
underground
age.
rumbles. Scientists
The
rushed
air
to the
outside
Arctic
our
only to find
windows
black
has
holes so
completely
deep.
transformed.
For decades,
It is
local
thick,
nomads reported
unnaturally
hearing
dense,
terrifying
heavily
underground
ionized,
rumbles.
and it
Scientists
leaves a
rushed to the
violent
Arctic only to
metallic
find
taste
black
of
holes so
copper
deep.
and burnt
For
plastic on the
decades,
very
local
back of the
nomads
throat.
reported hearing
Every
terrifying
breath we take
underground
inside
rumbles.
this cabin
Scientists rushed to
feels
the
like
Arctic only to find
swallowing
black
raw
holes so
static
deep.
electricity.
For decades,
Right now,
local
my
nomads
remaining
reported
3
hearing
team members and I
terrifying
are
underground
pushing
rumbles.
our heavy
Scientists rushed to the
8-wheel
Arctic only to find
industrial
black
off-road
holes so
truck
deep.
to its absolute mechanical limits. We are plunging headfirst into an unnatural Arctic whiteout. A synthetic blinding blizzard that didn't roll in from the Northern Ocean, but erupted directly upward from the cracked Earth itself. The snow isn't falling from the clouds. It is being violently generated by the extreme thermal shockwave of the abyss. But we aren't escaping the anomaly. We aren't getting away from it. Through the rear-facing thermal cameras of our mobile command vehicle, the Siberian landscape behind us looks like a dying bioluminescent organism undergoing a rapid, violent cellular mutation. The pure, unbroken white tundra is completely gone. Beneath the thick ice sheets, miles of glowing
But some
cyan and
craters
dark gold
defy
veins
all
are branching
scientific
outward from
logic.
the central crater,
Strange
pulsing
magnetic
in
anomalies
perfect,
and
terrifying
unexplained
unison
echo. But
with
some
that exact
craters
same
defy
12-second rhythm
all
we
scientific
recorded at the
logic.
rim before the
Strange
explosion.
magnetic
It looks
anomalies
like
and
a massive
unexplained echo.
subsurface
But
neural
some
network
craters
waking up
defy
after
all
millions of years of
scientific
forced
logic.
dormancy.
Strange
The
magnetic
permafrost is splitting
anomalies
open
and
in vast,
unexplained echo.
mathematically perfect concentric fractures, beautifully yet terrifyingly carving a geometric web around the primary breach site. This is not a localized geological disaster. This is a planet-wide boot sequence. I am staring at our mobile seismic monitor mounted directly to the dashboard, and the incoming data columns are defying every known law of modern geophysics. Natural seismic waves radiate outward from an epicenter, losing their energy and weakening as they travel through layers of rock, sand, and sediment. These waves are doing the exact opposite. They are converging. They are gaining strength as they rush toward our position. Our radio receivers are picking up deep Earth acoustic signals from across the entire Arctic Circle. Clandestine, subterranean pulses from northern Canada, the coastal ice shelves of Greenland, and the highly isolated global sea. Let me explain exactly what our subsurface radar array captured in the final 3 minutes before our primary base camp was vaporized into nothingness. The low-frequency radar managed to penetrate nearly 4 miles down into the throat of the central cylinder before the specialized sensor housing literally melted from the localized kinetic heat waves. The digital rendering on our screens didn't show a magma chamber, a volcanic vent, or a hollow tectonic fault line. The radar signals bounced off an immense hollow cavern shaped like an inverted, flawless geometric pyramid. Suspended directly in the dead center of that massive underground void is a monolithic structure composed of an unknown, hyperdense crystalline alloy. A material that doesn't just block radar waves, it devours them completely, leaving a perfect, pitch-black digital shadow on our control monitors. The handwritten notes from the 1974 Soviet deep core drilling teams are no longer the ramblings of paranoid, isolated men. They are a terrifyingly accurate historical map of our doom. Those engineers didn't halt their operations because they ran out of state funding or because the ground was too hard to pierce. They stopped because they spent 3 agonizing weeks trying to blast through that exact subterranean shield using military-grade thermite explosives. Their final journal entry, which was carefully omitted from every single declassified KGB archive in Moscow, contained a warning that should have frozen the blood of the modern scientific world. The chief field engineer wrote in his frantic handwriting, "The metal plate does not belong to the geological crust of this Earth. It possesses a localized, intelligent pulse. We did not strike a mineral deposit. We tried to drill into the very skin of a sleeping leviathan. It felt our needles. It is shifting its weight beneath us." They knew. The Soviet High Command understood perfectly 50 years ago that the Yamal Peninsula was sitting directly on top of an engineered global infrastructure of unknown origin. They sealed the files, buried the heavy drilling equipment under thousands of tons of reinforced concrete, and fabricated the methane gas explosion narrative to guarantee that no modern state would ever bring advanced diagnostic technology back to this sector. And now, our modern scientific arrogance, our desperate need to document the melting ice, has completed the circuit they sacrificed everything to break. We didn't discover a natural anomaly. We acted as a physical conductor for an ancient, sleeping current. The truck just shuddered with a violence that nearly threw us from our seats. The transmission is slipping badly, not because of a mechanical failure within the engine, but because the very ground beneath our massive industrial tires is no longer solid mud and ice. The permafrost is liquefying into a strange, low-viscosity grey slurry that actively repels kinetic energy and pressure. The tires are spinning fruitlessly, finding absolutely no purchase on the shifting terrain.
But some craters defy all scientific logic. Strange magnetic anomalies and unexplained echo. But some craters defy all scientific logic. Strange magnetic anomalies and unexplained echo. But some craters defy all scientific logic. Strange magnetic anomalies and unexplained echo
from the Earth's natural axis, spinning our physical mechanical compasses into a useless, blurred silver disk. Wait, turn the camera. Look at the forward infrared monitor on the console. 3 miles due south, cutting right through our only viable escape route back to civilization, a second thermal column is tearing its way through the tundra. Another perfect cylinder is punching its way upward from the deep rock layer. The frozen Earth is bulging toward the sky like a massive pressurized blister before violently shattering into millions of razor-sharp ice shards that rain down across the dark landscape like shrapnel. A colossal pillar of superheated golden light is shooting straight out of the new breach, piercing the upper atmosphere and tearing a physical hole through the dense, swirling blizzard clouds. I can see the storm clouds spinning around the golden beam, forming a perfect, silent, motionless eye in the middle of a screaming hurricane. We are no longer driving across a flat plain. We are trapped inside a collapsing, shifting geometric maze of planetary proportions. My lead surveyor just let out a scream. She is staring out the side window of the cabin with high magnification night vision binoculars. Through the pitch black Arctic night, illuminated only by the distant golden and blue plasma pillars, the horizon itself is changing its physical shape. Massive, dark geometric blocks, structures the size of modern skyscrapers, composed of that same dark, vitrified, glass-like material from the inner crater walls, are slowly, silently rising straight out of the cracked Earth. They aren't ruins. They aren't ancient monuments covered in mud and age. They are pristine, sharp-edged, and completely devoid of any geological erosion or wear. They look like they were manufactured yesterday, hidden safely beneath miles of glacial ice for millennia, waiting for the surface temperature, the atmospheric pressure, and the magnetic distortion to reach the exact mathematical threshold required for automated deployment. The ancient engineers who built this world didn't leave this planet. They didn't die out in a prehistoric cataclysm or fade into the mythologies of early man. They simply built their civilization downward into the deep crust of the Earth, miles away from the surface disasters, the asteroid impacts, the solar flares, and the magnetic pole shifts that periodically wipe clean the face of the outer crust. They turned the interior of the planet into a hyper-advanced, closed-loop ecosystem, perfectly protected by a shield of solid granite and miles of permafrost. And these craters we are documenting aren't accidents of modern climate change. They are exhaust valves, automated elevator shafts, and defense gates designed to clear the surface clutter when the Great Awakening cycle initiates. The hum has changed its tone again. It is no longer an acoustic vibration vibrating through the metal floorboards of the truck. It has entered our heads. Everyone inside this mobile command car is experiencing an intense, high-frequency pressure directly behind their eyes. We can hear a repeating sequence of rhythmic clicks and static bursts inside our skulls, a structural binary code that completely bypasses our auditory nerves. It feels like a massive data transmission is flooding our human nervous systems, attempting to overwrite our organic spatial awareness with a completely alien map of the deep Earth. Our minds are being forced to process the impossible geometry of the underworld. The truck's engine just died. Every single indicator light on the dashboard went dark at the exact same instant. The power steering is gone, and the wheel is locked frozen in place. We are coasting to a halt in absolute dead, terrifying silence, right between two of the massive rising monolithic columns that now block out the northern sky. The headlights are completely gone, but we don't need them anymore. The entire atmosphere around the truck is glowing with a thick, heavy, neon green static field that makes the hair on our arms stand straight up. Outside the reinforced glass windows, the snow has completely stopped falling. The ice crystals are suspended in midair, hovering completely motionless, defying gravity as the localized magnetic field completely detaches from the rest of the planet's gravity. My breath isn't fogging anymore. The air inside the cabin is suddenly warm, heated by the sheer kinetic energy of the structures rising around us. I can hear something moving outside the truck. It isn't the wind. It's a rhythmic, heavy mechanical scraping across the roof of our vehicle.
For decades, local nomads reported hearing terrifying underground rumbles. Scientists rushed to the Arctic only to find black holes so deep. For decades, local nomads reported hearing terrifying underground rumbles. Scientists rushed to the Arctic only to find black holes so deep. For decades, local nomads reported hearing terrifying underground rumbles. Scientists rushed to the Arctic only to find black holes so deep. For decades, local nomads reported hearing terrifying underground rumbles. Scientists rushed to the Arctic only to find black holes so deep.
But some craters defy all scientific logic. Strange magnetic anomalies and unexplained echo